Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick stream and a thank you to Microsoft. I have been renominated or re-awarded the Microsoft MVP program, and I am very excited about that. I just want to thank. I'm not exactly sure who exactly nominated me, though I have a couple of theories. Noel Silver and Andy Leonard. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. For those who don't know, the Microsoft MVP program, you can go kind of check it out. It basically rewards folks for exceptional community leadership. I was an MVP. If you look here, my first year awarded was in 2006. And I was awarded all the way up to 2011, at which point I joined Microsoft. So you can't be an MVP and work for Microsoft. So that's kind of the thing there. And I see I have some chat, which unfortunately doesn't show up. So I have it now. So if you type it in, I will point it out. Thank you, John. John, I believe you're also an AI MVP. So I if you look at the MVPs in the US, I think there's about 15. You're on there. Maybe it was you who nominated me. I don't know. Thank you, whoever it was. You were you wonderful anonymous benefactor. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Alberto. And thank you, anonymous LinkedIn user. I think it could be Rupesh, could be Saduki, could be Mana. Who knows? I'll have to check the comments later, but thank you. And thank you, Andy. Thank you. Let me get rid of that graphic. So thank you for folks. So thank you for all the congratulations. I'm excited. I am super excited to be back in the MVP program. So I just realized the other day, Andy, that it had been 10 years since I was an MVP. Can you believe it? It's Mana. Hey, how's it going? I think I pronounced it right this time, right? Yeah, so in 2006, I was a tablet PC MVP, which that category doesn't exist anymore because that product line is not really. Usually they track. So this is interesting. So the MVP program has changed enormously in the last 10 years. So give AI predictions 2022. Let me chew on that, and I'll get back to you. Let's see. You can find an MVP. Find it. Here you go. Click on this. And MVPs, I don't know how many exactly there are worldwide. I've heard 5,000. I've heard 6,000. But it's probably around 10,000 plus or minus a couple thousand. So if you pick the category, these are the different categories that exist. I'll do this. Nope. Swap. I want to maximize this. There we go. Here we go. So you pick country. So here are the things. ADJ-OSS. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'm assuming it's some kind of open source. AI, business applications. It's probably like Power Apps, Power BI, that sort of thing. There we go. There I am. I'm back on the screen. Cloud developer, data center management, which is kind of infrastructure-ish type stuff. Data platform, which of course is my other love. Developer technologies, enterprise mobility. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Let's check it out. Azure, which I wonder how that's different than data center management. Office apps and services, which again, I wonder how that's different from. I really need to do a deep dive in this because the categories have all changed. It used to be it was based on product lines. So there was Excel MVPs, there were Word MVPs, there were SharePoint MVPs, there were this. So I would imagine they consolidated this into less categories. And Windows development and IoT or IT, not Windows development. So if you look at AI, I think here's a big shout out to John. John, you're on this list. And then you narrow the country down to US. So globally it's 142. And I was going to do an unboxing today. I was waiting. I didn't stream yesterday because I was waiting for it to show up. but apparently my welcome kit was delayed. But I guess such is the age of supply chain disruption and labor shortages. So if you narrow it down to the U.S., it's a little more of a managed list. 16. Jonathan, I see you right there. Noelle Silver. If you don't follow her on any social media platforms, you can just stop what you're doing and do that now, because she's done some amazing things, and arguably she is to blame for my recent metaverse. Blame or give credit for my recent metaverse obsession. Veronica, I've actually presented with her. I know Zoiner through Kim Schmidt, former business partner of mine and wonderful friend. And she's at AWS now. She's also ex-Microsoft. So there's Zoiner, Tim Huckabee. He's a legend. I think he's an RD. And of course, Prashant. Prashant sometimes attends the live streams. He could have been the one who nominated me. So I will add that also, that thank you to one of the I don't want to say suspects. That sounds terrible. But one of my, I'll add him, Andy, Noelle, and Jonathan, to whom I want to, I suspect are the anonymous benefactors for me getting the MVP award. Prashant and I were actually talking about this like last week, oddly enough. He's like, well, I think you have to be away from Microsoft for like a set period of time. And I honestly never knew, because, when I left Microsoft in 2016, I was so focused on getting my data science certifications, which, as Andy said, they're kind of legendary now, that I didn't really think about getting into, working on the process of getting back to MVP, which is kind of a good thing, because, less than 12 months later, I had rejoined Microsoft, which means I would have had to give it up again. So this is pretty cool. I'm excited. I am super excited to do that. What's cool is you can search across like who are the MVPs. So in the US, there's 16, and I am honored to be one of them. I'm really excited about what they call the PGI, or product group interactions, which is probably the number one thing I miss about being a Microsoft employee, with the ability to actually interact with the folks who are working on the product groups and things like that, which, they would have a number of open kind of presentations with the field. And of course, when I was at the MTC, if we had a customer with a very specific need, we can get somebody from the product group to assist in a customer presentation. And funny story was, I think maybe about a year ago, Azure Purview was announced to be in preview. Say that 10 times fast. And that's my phone telling me I have a meeting in 10 minutes. But so Azure Purview was announced on like Tuesday, right? And then Thursday, like literally less than 48 hours later, I had to give a presentation on it, which was a lot of fun. So I grabbed whatever I could, screen grabbed and things like that. But I was actually able to get somebody from the product group to kind of just speak for a few minutes about the product and the overall roadmap, all stuff I did not have access to. So I'm really excited to be back in this, and it looks like you can pick. And they've done this. I think they just were talking about this 10 years ago. That you can pick kind of like your primary area and your secondary area. No, this was actually done because I was a tablet PC MVP, and I was able to be involved in some of the Silverlight kind of WPF XAML stuff. Because that was my secondary area of focus. I think they originally went with a major and a minor. This time when I signed up with a profile, I could pick 3 areas. So I picked AI as obviously my primary data platform. And I think for the third one, I picked developer technologies. So I was surprised because I thought there was a quantum MVP category. Apparently there's not. Near as I can tell, the folks that I know in that space that are working, they are developer technology MVPs, which kind of makes sense right now because it looks like there's not a direct one-to-one mapping to Microsoft products and MVP categories. They're kind of like more like kind of rolled up into bins, as it were. and which I guess makes sense because I mean it can be very, if you're trying to organize a conference like the MVP conference, I can imagine that being difficult. So I'm excited. I hope we do kind of a virtual call. Actually, Jonathan, is you can tell me, like, do they do that? I should ask Noel as well, for Sean. It'd be cool to have like a virtual call, virtual coffee of all the US MVPs or AI MVPs, or hey, I mean, why not? Like, why not make it global, right? How many global are there? 42. So that's pretty cool. So I am excited. I am super excited about this, and I think it's cool. I think it's great to be back in the program. It's been 10 years. Hard to believe 10 years have gone by, and I've spent most of those 10 years inside the firewall of Microsoft. So predictions, Alberto, for AI in 2022. Let me. Here's a comment from John. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because they used to do that too. Because time zones are probably the real barrier to that. But they used to do that. I don't know if they still do that on a regular cadence or whatever. I've been in the program. I found out just under a week ago because I got this email. So I guess November 1st was my date in there. So I get this email, and I've been thinking about getting MVP, and Noel and I were talking about it. Andy and I were talking about it. Prashant and I were talking about it. And literally like 2-3 weeks ago, and it was kind of like, I said to Noel, it's like, well, after the holidays, after I launch this next podcast, I'm going to make that a priority. I'm going to make, re-upping as an MVP a real priority. And I get this email like November 1st, which November 1st being a significant day for me. It's when I celebrate New Year, but maybe Andy and I will do another show about that. Right, Andy? What was I going to say? So I get this email like, hey, as an MVP, you can, there's this new program. And I'm like, okay, well, that would be nice. Yet another reason to be an MVP, but thank you for telling me. And then I guess it landed in my, yes, sir. I guess it landed in my spam box or whatever, but I get this notification like Thursday saying that, my MVP package is on the way. And I thought it was spam. I thought it was a prank. I thought somebody was punking me, but I looked it up and the thing was legit. Like the tracking number was legit. So I'm like, huh, how about that? So then I dig through my email, and then I found, I did a search, and I found out that congratulations, you are been, nominated and just do this to accept the award. So I was like, holy cow, it actually happened. So I was super excited about that, as they say, and I was hoping I was going to delay the news to when I can kind of do an unboxing. I still will do the unboxing on a live stream, kind of show you what's in it, but it was cool. I mean, it's nice to be back in the program. I signed up for some of the distribution, the email lists, and things like that. I think there's a Teams channel too. Got to sign up for that. And what's weird is what I'm really looking forward to is the Azure credits, because that definitely helps, because there's definitely things I want to experiment and learn on that now that I'm outside the firewall, I do not have kind of my company account. And but yeah, I'm really excited about it, and been kind of on these email threads again, and it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. All that stuff's generally NDA, so I can't talk about it. But I will say, I'm seeing some of the names flash by that are just like legends in the community, and it's like, yes, I'm on the same DLs as they are. DL being distribution list, for those not in the know. That is a bit of the Microsoft speak that kind of comes out through the MVP program. All right, so I have 4 minutes until my meeting, so I will give you AI predictions for 2022. I think you're going to see, and you're already starting to see this, two things. GPT-3, OpenAI, all their stuff. I think that you're finally going to see competition in that space. I saw something go by in my news feed about that there's another alternative to GPT-3, which was trained on a lot more input parameters. And there's not a guarantee, but there's a correlation between better input parameter or volume of input parameters. There's 4 billion, 10 billion. I think this one had about 11 billion. And it right now, if you want to get that type of text creation, um, I see your comment, Jonathan. I do agree. Um, the right now, I would say the competition that's there. So one of the things that was in that news story was it had this NLP type processing had um, achieved basically more parameters in GPT-3, and it was something like 30% more energy efficient. So I think that's interesting because the energy efficiency will probably correlate to reduced price in training those models, which, depending on who you believe, GPT-3 costs $5 to $12 million to train. So I got to go, but hopefully, yes, I do agree. Reinforcement learning will come more in the industry, and it is largely stuck in academia now. I do have to run, so I appreciate